What does this word here mean? It's not an anagram, we've heard a few of them already, but it's a very tiny word, isn't it? It's only 3 letters, yet it's universally understood in every single language. And it's the cornerstone of life's most pivotal questions. Will you marry me? Should I get a mullet? And of course, are you by any chance available to do a TED Talk? Now, as many times as we might say that tiny little word of 3 letters, how many times do we truly mean it? You doing good? Yes, we say with a forced smile whilst inside we feel like a soggy paper bag. Or how about the times we said yes to a promise only to abandon it like a bad Tinder match? We all know that yes is a much nicer word. It's nice to hear, it's nice to say, and yet it seemingly is so much harder to actually say. Now, in a study done with 2,000 Brits from one poll, psychologist Emma Kenny found that the fear of saying yes is a very, very common phenomenon that's linked to the emotions we experience when we are pushed outside of our comfort zone. When there's an idea or preconceived notion that we're not good enough for something, or that we'll be judged for something, our immediate reaction is to say no, even if it's something we want to do. Saying yes in further studies, saying yes has shown to boost creativity. It strengthens your mental health. It creates stronger bonds with people. It's all real science, and simply we can't actually say it. So I got curious. What would happen if I truly embraced that tiny little word? So, over the past year or so, I've basically just said yes to everything that came my path. Every party, every plan, every project, everything else that starts with a P, I just said yes to it. And yeah, spoiler alert, it got weird very quickly. I'm not the first person to do this. Maybe you've seen that film, Yes Man, with Jim Carrey, where he has to say yes to everything for a year because there's a curse upon him. Don't worry, everybody, there's nothing wrong with me, I swear. But that film is actually based on a real-life story. It's based on this guy, Danny Wallace, who actually did that. Actually said yes to everything that came on his path for 6 months. Now, he wrote a book about it, about his experiences, and I just happened to find that book when I was going through a bit of a slump. Now, picture this. I started out at this university around a year ago for my 4th degree. Yes, 4th. I was truly collecting studies like they were Pokemon. Academically, I wasn't necessarily hitting any home runs. And socially, well, let's just say that every table that I sat in had a lot of spare room on it. Life just felt like one big, uninspired meh. Now, all jokes aside, life was really tough, and I felt the weight of the world is getting heavier and heavier every day. And that feeling is not just me, as more than 1 out of every 10 students in the first year of academics experience some form of depression or anxiety. But then I found this book from a guy who was going through a very similar stage in life as me, and how he turned his entire life around with just that little word. He turned his life from a blah to a ta-da. Saying yes ultimately resulted in him winning and losing the lottery in the same day, getting hypnotized by a dog, joining a cult that believes that aliens built the pyramids, punching a Buddhist monk in the face, ending up on a very awkward double date with his ex-girlfriend and her new partner, and ultimately getting his dream job and finding the love of his life. Now, a few of those things sounded pretty nice, so I thought, why don't I try it as well? Why don't I also just start saying yes to everything? And very quickly, I found that initial fear of being unwanted or even a loser, gone. It's like magic. I actually enjoyed myself, and people around me started to see a new version of me who was more open and had a lot more energy. Now, saying yes resulted in some weird things. I traveled up to the Baltics just because I met a girl once at a party. I traveled all across the country, through every corner of the country, north, south, east, west, every single town, just because people casually mentioned I should go there. I got on the 8 o'clock news, twice, 3 times, 4 times. I even got on Belgian news. Yes, looking like that. I've looked better. I even had to wear a big fluffy mascot outfit for Easter. About those mascot outfits, they look a lot cuter than they actually are. It's a lot of sweat and a lot less dignity. I even got a book by my book I wrote. I actually got it published. It's not a New York Times bestseller yet, but it's getting there, don't worry. Now, I could go on forever about the weird and funny tales I have from saying yes, but instead, let me share with you what I actually learned from that experience. Now, first, people, and yes, even strangers, are good people. They're kind, and they will go out of their way to help you. But there is a catch. You gotta meet them somewhere halfway. So here's an example, right? I'm from Rotterdam. Great crowd, let's try it again. I'm from Rotterdam. Thank you. So for me to go to Amsterdam is like asking a cat to take a bubble bath. But when a friend of mine, who's an actor, invited me to a show he was doing there, I just said yes. Not realizing that that show is at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that the show he was doing was Cinderella, a fairy tale musical for ages 3 and up. So there I was, a 23-year-old guy sitting alone, very early in the morning in a city I hate, in a room full of little girls all dressed like princesses watching a fairy tale musical. Yeah, I've had better seats. I hope you all have better seats as well. But my friend, he didn't care. He realized I was there for him. And so when summer rolled around and I needed somebody, guess who was the first person to show up? And now every time I need somebody, guess who's always there? And whenever there's a show again, guess who is the first person that gets invited to all the shows? That's when I realized kindness is a two-way street. The world gives back what you're willing to put into it, and the currency of kindness is worth every single yes. Another thing I learned, opportunities are literally everywhere. Even if you're not looking for it, they are there, waiting for you, and specifically just you, to go out and reach out to them. Now, thanks to this mentality, I found myself doing some things I never thought I could. I joined a beginning drumming lesson. I'm no rock star yet. I ended up not only meeting, but also getting the number of the Minister of Foreign Affairs of this country. Yeah, talk about imposter syndrome. I even pretended to be Hungarian for a full day for an event, even speaking gibberish to sell the illusion. So to any Hungarians out there right now, Bushnitskia, very sorry. Let's not forget the time I went to Copenhagen and snuck into a security event and ultimately had drinks with a startup that specializes in security software. Yeah, the irony wasn't lost on me either. Now, all of it might seem ridiculous, partly because it is, but it also made me feel way more comfortable with being me. I mean, imagine, I could do all of that. What could I do if I set my mind exactly to what I wanted? Imagine what you could do if you just set your mind to it. Another thing you might not even know is that people actually participate in activities. I know. I was as shocked as you are when I heard for the first time that people actually also do stuff. But half the time, it's not about what you're doing, it's who you're doing it with. I may have never been the biggest board game fan out there, but joining in on a couple of sessions has given me a lot of insight in that scene and a lot more friends that I now hold dear. Think about it. How many times are you letting events pass just because you don't know anybody there? How many stories haven't you heard of lovers meeting at a party they initially said they didn't want to go to? This is literally Romeo and Juliet, guys. Yes doesn't just open doors. It swings them right open. And behind every single door is another adventure, another memory, or at least just one more connection in that ever-growing network powered by yes. So go out there and start doing it. I beg of you, just start. And I know. The world is a big, scary place. And there is a lot to be scared about in the world, including lions, as I just heard. But nobody is immune to embarrassment, including myself. I don't know if you can tell as I'm standing on the stage, on this big red dot. But half the time, think about it. How many opportunities are you letting pass just because that slight bit of embarrassment? What are the chances that you are willing to do something and you're letting it pass just because you feel you're not good enough for something? So I beg of you, try Just try for once to say yes to something you're scared of and feel that initial bit of embarrassment disappear like drinks tonight at the open bar. The truth is, the world is just bursting with possibilities. Your streets, your libraries, your inbox, your universities, your jobs, everywhere. It's waiting for you, and specifically just you, to go out and reach out to them. So go out and start saying yes. It's not a hard word, it's only 3 letters, guys. The currency of kindness is worth every single yes. I tell you. So say yes to that invite. Say yes to the movie you're already seen. Say yes to having a drink even though you're not feeling it. You are the power right now. You can change the world with just one small little word. And it's not just that you can change the world. Everybody here can change the world. You can change your own life, and you can change the life of everybody you know, and even of the people you haven't even met yet. Yes really has the power to ignite change. So next time you see an ad to play underwater basketball, get asked to celebrate the birthday of somebody's hamster, or are asked to join in a hot dog eating competition, even though you're vegetarian, just for once, you know what to do. As I've hopefully explained over the past couple of minutes, yes really can make that difference. You're about to be asked a lot more questions, and I'm just going to ask you one more question. Are you willing to say yes more often?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
I've always wanted to say this, but thanks for coming to my TEDx talk.